Hi everyone. Just want to update you a little bit on what I'm doing with my blessing house. Um, I kind of changed my plan a little bit as I was going along. Okay, I did the door using pieces of sari silk fabric to locker hook onto the door. And then I had first planned to locker hook a flower right in here and then on the other side. But as I got going, I've kind of changed my plan or my outlook. And so I did the door and then I went around the door with using 2 rows of the weave to go all the way around the door, and I used this yarn. I used this yarn, but I mixed it. I used 2 layers of yarn. I used that and this. This is real soft. I don't know. I think it might even be mohair. I never had the label to it, but that's what I did when I went around the door, so it gives that marble effect of the color. And then when I started doing the this is yarn too, the blue that I'm doing the house, which I'm using this blue yarn, and then this is a thread knit picks. It's just a very fine thread, but it is multicolored, and I'm using this same um, mohairish kind of yarn. So I'm doing the all three in together, and I'm locker hooking it in. I'm finding with the yarn it's a little bit more tedious to use than fabric strips. Fabric strips is a little tedious too, but the yarn is um, I'm finding it's like hard to keep a it's hard to keep it even, keep my loops even. And so I don't know if it's because the yarn wants to stretch. So on when I'm doing this, I usually just do about 5 stitches at a time, where usually I can go and fill up that whole hook with stitches. But I doing this way, just doing 5 at a time or so, 4 or 5, and then pull the locker thread through. It keeps them more even. Although, as I look at this, um, I really kind of like how it is so textured that some of the loops are bigger than the others, and it makes it a texture. And so when I now see, if I've almost got this whole part, this will be blue here, then the roof part is going to be, I'm going to do some kind of brown in the roof, some kind of a brown. And I still don't know yet if I'm going to use yarn or if I'm going to use fabric strips. I may use fabric strips. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to couch. I have some different flowers. I have different flowers. Well, they jumped ship too. Oh, here. See, I have these that are already crocheted. These were sent to me by my friend Cordula. She sent me these crocheted flowers, and which I love the colors, first of all. And so they're going to go in, they're going to be the flowers, and then I'm going to couch the stems. I'm going to couch the stems and the leaves. So these are going to be the flowers that are around the house. And I think those will be beautiful. She left the strings on when she made them because so that I would be able to attach them to whatever I wanted to attach them to. And so that's going to be like so perfect. And so it won't take me long, but I am one who jumps from project to project, and in my mind I want to get started with another meditation book because I have found that if I work on something like this that does take some thought, then I have to put that down. I have to put it down for a little while. And even though I have my plan of what I want to do, my slow stitching, which the meditation, I've got a knot in that thread there. I'm trying to pull that knot through, not make it mad. Okay, there we go. And so I'm going to start another meditation book, and I'll probably start that tonight. Today, well, it's late now already. It's 9:21, so it's already late today. But I have had a sleepy day today. I've spent a lot of my time in relaxation mode. Yeah, you ever get that way where you need to spend time in your relaxation mode? But and then some days I think so much gets in your mind sometimes. You know, if you're thinking about different members of your family, maybe some of them are not well, maybe some you got friends that are not well, and or just things that kind of just make you put you into something, some kind of a mode that you just kind of feel, you know, there's a lot of concern, and it just makes you kind of worry, I guess. And so, and I'm in that point right now. Not that there's troubles, you know, it's not troubles, it's just, you know, things that, and I get too many of them sometimes in my mind all at one time. I watched this one lady, her name is Emma Freeman. Let me make sure that's right. I'll write it down. My memory is, yes, Emma Freeman. And she's the one that really got me into these meditation, simple meditation books. And she has got dozens of them that she has made. In fact, I watched earlier today a video that she made, and she's got a lot of videos that are only like 6 or 7 minutes long, just quickly explaining what she's doing. She took some of her meditation books, completed books, and I think she's also just in fabric, but she'll like find fabrics at like a thrift shop and whatnot, and then she'll bring them home, and then she does a lot of dyeing and a lot of indigo dyeing on linen, and oh my gosh, that fabric just turns out so beautiful. And then she'll bury it in the ground and let the earth do whatever the earth wants to do with your fabric. She has put fabric, she's put completed books, her completed meditation books. She had, because they might only be just maybe 5 or 6 pages of fabric in her meditation book. And then and in the book is just slow stitching, just different things in slow stitching. today, the one I watched, she was talking about um, a book. She showed a book that she did that all it's got circles in it, and she was talking about the symbolism of a circle, and just to hear that, the symbolism of a circle, I thought, wow, that just, it's just amazing when she was explaining a few of the symbolism, meanings of a circle. And I thought, wow, a circle, and she was saying that like in Buddhist, there's a thing that they do in the Buddhism culture that on the they breathe in, and on the out breath they draw a circle, the whole out breath. In and out. And they now I'd have to watch it again to see all what she said. But it's one of their relaxation techniques, in and out. The circle is made on your out breath. I have to look more into that because that really uh, interested me. It intrigued me to want to know more about that. And there is so many different cultures and different beliefs that have so many different things that are so interesting. But she puts these books, she doesn't put all of her books in the ground, but she'll put that book and bury it for 30 days and then pull it back up, unearth it, and then look at what the earth has done to her books. I mean, these books are all raw edge pages. They're all raw edge pages. There's nothing special. Well, they're special, of course they are, but they're just raw edge pages in these books. And she said even in one day it was raining, and her books had been buried for 30 days, so she decided to go outside without an umbrella, just go out there and unearth her books. So she unearthed them, and I guess it was the 30 days, and then she took them. She goes, they were kind of all muddy. And so then she thought about, now I got to take them to the house and wash them. But instead, she seen a puddle under a willow tree or something. There was a water puddle from the rain. So she went over and just kind of swished her books through that water puddle, and to get the mud off of them. And she said she was soaking wet from the rain. The books were soaking wet, but she said she felt such calmness and new energy. And just by doing that, and that just amazed me. That amazes me so much, just to see how other people think. And I know we've done a lot of in the in the creative community, a lot of eco dyeing, so there you're bringing the earth in to into your papers and your fabrics by eco dyeing and using different nature. Look at that mosquito. How did a mosquito decide to come in here? A lot of dyeing done with nature. A lot of our crafting is done using nature. And I love nature anyway. I love making trees. Just for some reason, I love making a tree. If I do it in painting, if I do it in couching fabrics and stuff. I did a tree when I had my Jeffrey over the other day. We were both painting, and that's not a tree. This was I made this tree. Whatever I start doing, I think I end up making a tree. And so, but there I did a tree. But I just love trees. This one here, it's not a tree. It's more of a cityscape, I guess. But I was just playing with, I had yellow, red, and orange paint. And I was just scraping it back and forth, up and down. And then I'd spray water on it and I'd scrape it some more. Just using a playing card, just scraping. And then I liked the way it turned out. Well, I guess I didn't get the whole edge painted black, and then I just used black and made just a little bit of a cityscape, and I kind of like how that turns out. That's going to get a word too. I always like a word on my art projects. They always get a word. I love things with words. I just love words. And so, but then, then listening to Emma on her channel, Emma Did I just say Emma? Yeah, Emma Freeman. Yes, bulletin board there. Okay, and just listening to her is just, wow. She says so much in so little time. She's got a very calming voice too. And there again, you're letting the earth be part of your creating process. You're letting the earth help you. And to me, that is amazing. And so now I want to take a book and bury it in the earth to see what happens. And I guess depending on what kind of fabrics you have, I have got the fabric I want to use now for my next book is going to be fabric that comes from old feed sacks. Not flour sacks, but feed sacks that grain came in for your livestock would come in. I've got a few of those old bags, which my original plan was to make journal covers with them. But I'm gonna, in fact, I think when I finish this video right here, I'm gonna set this aside, not far aside, just a little bit aside, and I'm going to at least get. Now I dropped my needle in the floor. Does that mean it's time to end this? Just dropped my hook right in the floor. So I have to get some more yarn unwound here. What time is it? 18 minutes I've been on. Try not to stay on too long. Okay, you know what? When I'm in my wheelchair, I can't really. Wait a minute, maybe I have my grabber. Just a minute. Uh-oh, here comes Petunia. Hi, Petunia. Did you come to help me? Or are you just passing by? You're just passing? Okay, you pass. You just pass by. Thanks for coming by, Petunia. You sit up there on my sewing box. That's a good place for you. You know what? You know what? I'll just let that sit right down there for a minute. And I'll just get this other. There we go. Oh, I got to get another piece of string too, because my string is running short. So when my string runs short, I'll just pull another piece out of here. Gosh, I thank you again, Jackie, for this. I'm telling you, and now that yarn that's in that box, it's that yarn is just keeps running through my head, and and I want to do something with that yarn because that is some kind of yarn I've never ever seen before. And so I'm thinking now about maybe on my meditation book I might use some of that yarn to couch a tree. Maybe on the front of the book I might couch a tree, or on maybe all the way through the book I might couch pieces of that yarn, because it's just beautiful the way it is, even if you never make anything out of it. And so I wonder if I can, I think I want to finish this, the house part of this, and then maybe tomorrow I may work on the roof. You know, I rewatched one of these videos back. I don't rewatch all of my videos, but every once in a while I do. And I thought, holy smokes, the way I hold on to things. I am not dainty, I'm telling you. Geez, I got these chunky fingers. I don't have the dainty fingers with the beautiful fingernail polish and the rings and the bracelets and stuff like that. I don't have that. And I'm thinking, good, like it looks like a hippopotamus is trying to do some fancy needlework or something. But hey, as long as it gets done, right? And so, and if you don't do it exactly right, just like it says in the directions, well then you do it anyway, and then you just come up with your own style. See there? Got that knot when I had, there we go. And so I thought, God, nice, I gotta maybe learn how to be a little bit more dainty, because looks like I'm holding onto a shovel trying to dig a grave or something. But that's just the way I do it. I'm holding onto my shovel and I'm building a house. So I build a house with a shovel. Not everybody can do that, right? So it's like a challenge to be able to build a house with a shovel. And so I do know one thing about it. Once I get this one finished, I'm going to start another one. Because this isn't, because I've already got some ideas in my head that I might want to do with the next one. So there is going to be a next one, and I love the idea of the house design, because I think something like this, if I was just to make a square, which I have made just a square about this size, and just made it, it's just like a hot pad thing that you can put a hot pot on, and you can make something like that for somebody and give it to a gift, and they'll probably put it in their linen closet and it'll be there until the cows come home, you know. But if you give somebody something that's got some meaning to it, like this is going to be a house blessing, then I think the go through there, not the receiver would be more apt to want to keep it. Some people don't understand handmade, and they'd really, well, my knot's getting hung up there. My little knot is getting hung up. Here we go. It'll come through. No, it's not going to come through. My knot is stuck. My knot is stuck. I need to call a tow truck. Well, it is just got itself all wound up in there. Petunia, can you help me get this knot out of here? Maybe that's a signal that I got. You see the color of that cat? Isn't she beautiful? They think you're beautiful too, Petunia. Okay, y'all just, I got my knot through. My knot was a little hung up there in the tunnel. And so when I was first thinking about getting a cat, I wasn't actually going to try, but the cat really found us. But my friend told me, she goes, you do not want to get a cat. She goes, you do not want to get a cat because your cat's going to be up in your face all the time. She's going to get in all your craft supplies. She's going to be making a mess. She's going to be a pain in the neck. You do not want to get a cat. And I said, yeah, you're probably right. But then the spirit knew I really did want a cat. And so then this cat just kind of showed up, followed Papa home. Papa was out on one of his walks, and this cat followed him home and has been here ever since. Well, he left. She left one day, maybe to see if there was any place better to go. But then she was back within 24 hours, and she's been here ever since. So I didn't get a cat. The cat got us. And we love her. We love her dearly. She still hasn't had her little doctor's appointment. She goes on the 6th of July. I was thinking it was the 6th of June. I almost took her up on the wrong day. But she goes on the 6th of July. She'll get everything she needs. Until then, she seems to be doing fine. But she'll get all of her vaccinations, and she'll get spayed and everything she needs. They said they check them for feline AIDS. Imagine a cat with AIDS. Hopefully she doesn't have anything, but she seems to be very healthy. Definitely is very loving. See how that is coming on there? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more rows. And then it is. Then the house part is completed. So, and it goes pretty quickly. It goes pretty quickly. If you stay on target, you know. But being me, who is different than most normal people, I flip-flop from one idea to the next. But I've always got something to do, and I'm always happy. I'm always healthy, and that's what keeps us going. Keep happy. Do whatever makes you happy. Unless robbing banks makes you happy. If that makes you happy, you need to stop doing that. Do some stitching instead. But boy, there's so much you can do with textiles. Just so many art projects that you can do that you may not really believe you can do them today, but you can. It's amazing what you can do if you just give yourself, just quit saying I can't. Don't say that. Make that like a cuss word. I can't is every time you say I can't, you got to give your spouse $1. Just don't ever say you can't, because you can. You can do anything you set your mind to doing it. I mean, if you have a dream, you just keep on till you live that dream. With my grandson painting the other day, it's he was in an I can't mode, which not so much that he couldn't, he was just afraid of doing it wrong. He wanted just, how do you do this right, you know? And so, but when it comes to art, there's not a wrong or a right, and you don't even know what style you're gonna like. Like Picasso, I think a lot of you probably know, if you see a Picasso art piece, you'll know it's Picasso. Well, when he first started painting, he didn't do the style he is known for. he did more of trying to do a perfect landscape or a perfect everything, a perfect, maybe a perfect portrait or something. And well, he learned that that's not what he wanted. And then he turned in to start doing what he is so well known for, and his style, his very eclectic style. And that's where he finally felt happy. And that's where he finally felt happy. And he felt like he had lived his dream when he figured out his own style. And so whenever you start something new, you you don't I've done a lot of sewing, and I've done lots with fabric. All my life I have done with fabric. But I have mostly done went and bought a pattern, bought the fabric, bought made sure I had the threads that matched perfectly, buttons that would match perfectly, and I would do everything just exactly like the pattern showed. That's how I used fabric. Well, now and that's how I used fabric back in the day. I did a lot of clothing. I made a lot of stuffed animals. Um, just so many things that I've done sewing, following a pattern, and they turned out just like the pattern showed that they should. But once I learned that I have that freedom to create as I breathe, I have found that I enjoy it so much more. When I was sewing by the pattern, I was forever having to rip out a seam because it wasn't exactly right, or something wasn't matching just perfectly. I did a lot of sewing. I mean, my girls made their little dresses and things. I even made a brassiere one time. I only made one. I didn't like that, but sure didn't fit right. So I didn't go any further with that. But but yeah, when you don't have a pattern to follow, you don't have directions that you have to follow, then well, my hook doesn't want to come through that hole. Why not? Why not? There it is. Okay. Sometimes you gotta fight with it a little bit, but I win. And so you just keep on going. You just keep on going, and then you see what you end up with. When you end up with something, then you ended up with something, and that's what you got. And it's not going to look like anybody else's. Just like this right here. When I first saw that picture in that book, I said, I'm going to make that right there. I want to make that right there. And then I looked at the directions, and I started following the directions. And then, as you can see right here, I kind of went on my own journey. My own journey. And I'm still end up with house. It's not going to be like everybody else's house on the block, but it's going to be a house. How could it not be a house? It's my house. And I look forward to it being done, but I also look forward to getting my next meditation book started. And so you all, if you're interested in the meditation books, I showed one of mine, or my only one that I've got going right now, which I pretty much have it complete. I don't know if a meditation book would ever be complete, because you might decide to add something to it later, or you might do like Emma did and just end up with 35. And they're all small, maybe 4 or 5 inches by 4 or 5 inches, you know. They're different shapes and sizes. But I'm ready to cut. Just in a second, I'm going to show you my feed bag. I'll finish this here. You don't have to stay, though, if you've got something to do. You just mosey on with yourself. Or maybe you're like me and you just watch videos while you're crafting. And I like a little bit longer videos usually, because then I don't have to stop what I'm doing to find another video. I'm unwinding some more yarns here. And I gotta get another. I keep retasting the onion. I made myself a little salad and I put quite a bit of onion in there. I hadn't eaten all day, so I thought, well, I better fix something to eat, and made me a little salad, but I think I overdid onion. I keep repeating the onion. My mother used to say, this onion is repeating on me. Yeah, my onion is repeating on me. Okay, let me get that string cut right off of here. And again, I'm not here to teach anything. I just kind of show you what I'm doing at the moment. And you may get inspired to try it yourself. And then once you try it yourself, you figure out the right way to do it, well, then you just let me know. The whole world will be a better place. But I just keep on going. I like these three yarns together because each yarn is a different texture. This is pretty much your run-of-the-mill yarn. This is like a real soft, I think it's mohair. And this is, I have no idea. It's 41% cotton and 39% wool. And then there's some nylon, and then there's some elastic. Knit picks. Well, that's interesting. But I like it because it's a pretty color. So now, let's go down again. Now we're going down again. And then I want to show you, I gotta scoot back a ways. And gosh, today all day I have felt feverish, but I took my temperature and I'm normal. And I don't know why I feel just feverish. When you get up into these elderly ages, your body plays tricks on you. Just plays tricks. And so, but sometimes I don't accept my body playing tricks on me. See, once you start getting almost finished with one, you got that knot, see, get that knot through there. Wherever I tie the two pieces together, but you can't really go. Excuse me, oh my goodness, here come a sneeze, just sneezed up on me. It's probably them onions. I like me some onions though. There for a while in my life, I haven't had one for a while, but I used to make an apple and onion sandwich. I would toast me some toast, and I would slice an apple in flat slices, and an onion, and then and I would eat that. That would be my favorite sandwich. I loved it. I haven't had one like that for years, so maybe I've gotten over that. And then I was noticing that Larry Turner put up a update on her Tracy being in the hospital, bless her heart. I swear she's on her third week. I think it's 3 weeks now she's been in the hospital. They're trying to find out what they can do to fix her without her having to go on dialysis. Bless her heart. But she said one of the snacks that she absolutely loves, so he snuck it into her because she's not supposed to have no salt, was a dill pickle dipped in ketchup and mustard. And whenever he said that, I thought about my sandwich I used to love, my apple and onion sandwich. I thought, well, as long as it's not pickle and ice cream, she's in good shape. Because you know what happens if you start craving pickles and ice cream. Yeah, 9 months later. Anyway, so, but for you all that are, or even if you don't know Tracy, her name is Tracy Turner. She needs prayers right now. Oh, Lord, bless her heart. She's been in a hospital 3 weeks with problems with her heart, problems with her kidney as in one kidney, because she had two kidneys, but one gave up the ghost and shriveled up and ran away, unbeknownst, without permission. And so now kidney number 2 is really struggling. And so she needs heart surgery, but they cannot do the heart surgery. I mean, she had heart surgery in the past, but now what they fixed at that time is gone amiss again, and they got to refix it. But apparently they got to get the kidney stronger for her to be able to have the heart surgery. So her kidney numbers have been improving because they take blood from her. She has to be 20 pounds lighter, all the blood they've taken from her. But bless her heart, she's only 61 years old. She's not old enough to be going through serious problems, that's for sure. And so if you are the praying type, please pray for Tracy Turner and her husband. Her poor husband is just at his wit's end with concern for his wife. And if you don't pray and you do send vibes or, just thoughts, just healing thoughts is like they travel through the airspace just like Wi-Fi. Prayers was Wi-Fi signals before Wi-Fi was even invented. And so, however, just thoughts about her will send that, them signals will go through the universe and get to her. And like right now, I can imagine how, I don't know, depressed or, when you don't know from day to day, are they going to find something today, or, bless her heart, she's one of our fellow crafters. She's a good one too, I'm telling you. And so, she's got a real healthy spirit anyway, so that's going to help. But I mean, this is 3 weeks. This is crazy amount of time to be in the hospital. So Tracy tries to watch the videos of her, Tracy tries to watch videos while she's there too, although they've got her so much medications that most of the time she just sleeps. And then they want her legs elevated all the time, so it's like she's stuck in one position. Okay, now I'm going to just tie this off back here because I finished the house part. The house part is what I say is finished, so I'm just going to tie that in the back. My back won't look pretty at all. Yeah, it does. My back looks pretty. Now see, now I've got the house part. So now when I start putting I'm gonna, before I put the flowers, I'm gonna see where I want to put the flowers, and then I'm going to couch using different fibers. I'm going to couch. I think I'm only going to have 3 flowers. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But there's going to be and then there's going to be stems from the flowers, like vines going up to the flowers, and then maybe I'll do some leaves, and that's what is going to that's what will complete this. It's going to get the roof, and it's going to have some ribbons and bows. And I got to find that key I want hanging from there, because I don't want my door to be locked. I want anybody to be able to get in my door. So I'm going to make sure that that key is laying right there. Let me roll back here, and I'm going to get a piece of. I want to get my. Oh. See, I want to get my. I'm still here. Hang on, you guys. Okay, here. Just a minute. Just be patient with the old lady. Be patient with the old lady. Oh. Okay. Oh. And here she comes. Wait a minute, my pillow. Here she comes. Just a minute. I wonder if you're silly enough to be there, you guys. Okay, now this is a feed sack. This is a grain sack from back in the olden days. And this is what I want to use to make. I get out of breath so easy. To make my next um, meditation book. In fact, I haven't cut this yet, and I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it today, and I'm going to make my next meditation book using this fabric. I almost feel like this is almost like a heavy kind of a linen too. I mean, and it's huge. I'll be able to make a lot of things out of this fabric, but gosh, do I love this fabric. But that's what I'm going to use. And Emma Freeman, you just check her out. And you just check her out. If you're interested in anyway, like meditating kind of things. Let me see here. Do I want to read something, or I wonder if maybe I want to do a little. Oh, what do I have here? Music songs. I have some songs. What do I have in here? Some of these I can't quite think of what the tune goes right at this very second. And so usually I just read, but today I think I feel like I want to sing a song. Holy smoke. Put there. I looked for that. Let's see. Let's see. What does you hear? I love this song. I wonder if I can. Oh my gosh, I love this one too. Okay. This is Scarlet Ribbons for Her Hair. I peeked in to say good night. Then I heard my child in prayer send to me some scarlet ribbons, scarlet ribbons for my hair. All the stores were closed and shuttered. All the streets were dark and bare. In our town, no scarlet ribbons, not one ribbon for her hair. Through the night, my heart was aching. Just before the dawn was breaking, I peeked in, and on her bed, in gay profusion lying there, lovely ribbons, scarlet ribbons, scarlet ribbons for her hair. If I live to be 200, I will never know from where came those ribbons, scarlet ribbons, lovely ribbons for her hair. If I live to be 200, I will never know from where came those lovely scarlet ribbons. All you can do is try and imagine yourself, where did those lovely scarlet ribbons come from when there was none to be found anywhere? Okay, I ask God to watch over every one of you, each and every one of you, every step you take, every move you make. Keep you safe and secure, keep you happy and humble, and make something, just make something, even if you don't go by the directions. I was first going to go by the directions on this house, and then I just take these off-roads, and I go off-roading. Okay, God bless and keep you all. Thank you for watching.